Hello, children. Last week we heard about Gideon and how God had called him a mighty warrior. Seeing as he didn't feel at all like a warrior, he asked God not for one miracle, but for two, so he could be sure that it was God speaking and that God really meant it. Soon after, Gideon gathered a huge army together to fight the Midianite army. As it happened, the Midianites had joined forces with other countries, so their army was even bigger. What do you think God did? He told Gideon to let all the men who were frightened go back home. That meant 22,000 men left, so only 10,000 stayed behind. But as far as God was concerned, that was still too big an army. God wanted everyone to know that it would be God who would fight and win against the Midianites. And God sorted out the 10,000 men so that only 300 remained. Wow! And these men who were going home, they left their war trumpets and their lamps with the 300. As you can well imagine, Gideon would have been feeling rather dismayed about losing so many men from his army. Only 300 men against a mighty one. But God wanted to encourage him, so he had Gideon sneak down to the enemy camp at night when most of them would be sleeping. And there he heard a couple of them talking about a dream they'd had that convinced them that Gideon was going to smash them. Gideon felt so good now that he went straight back to his sleeping men and he told them they were going to attack just then while it was still dark. And this was God's plan. They were to surround the enemy camp while they were sleeping, and at Gideon's command they were to blow their trumpets and show their lamps, which all the men had, if you remember. And that is exactly what they did. The enemy woke up startled and terrified, as they believed they were surrounded by an enormous army, and in their panic, they started fighting and falling over each other, and then running away as fast as they could. This led to a massive victory for Gideon and for God. So God was very kind to the Israelites. He rescued them from Midian, and he was so very kind and gracious to Gideon. He really did make him into a mighty warrior, even though Gideon didn't seem to have much faith in God at all. We must remember that God is good and kind to us, even though we don't deserve it. We might have such small faith, yet God is very willing to make our faith grow. We can trust him completely. If Jesus died for us, then he must love us and want the very best for us. Amazing God.